Hey guys, wanted to shoot a quick video for you here. Just taking a look at kind of what's going on with the housing market and rents and where I think they're going to go here in the short term. Um, Obviously, every market is local and there's a lot of factors at play here, but I wanted to know the correlation kind of between what the uh, minimum wage rates were and what the um, median rents were over time. So I went to some of the government websites, Department of Labor, um, to get some minimum wage history back into the uh, late 60s all the way through today. And then looked at some other data here from basically HUD to get an idea of what the median rents were over time. Obviously, markets are very different, but I just want to get some idea, were market rents at all tied to what the median um, or what the minimum wage was? Um, and I don't know the exact correlation. I'm not a statistician by any means, but it's very interesting to me to see. I just put some simple math together. You guys can see on the spreadsheet, but to go back to 1968 and you look at the minimum wage then was basically $1.15. The inflation rate was 4% then. So your $1.15 really only had the buying power of $1.10. We all know early 70s, the dollar was taken off the gold standard. That had a pretty big impact. You can see that jump here from just dollar losing its own value. But what was the relationship between what the minimum wage was, figure 40 hours a week, basically it's about 170 working hours in a month, and versus what it costs to rent a property? So in 68, it was basically 36% of your income, if you're a minimum wage earner, went to rent. And you can see that pretty steadily went up. It's gone down a few times, basically as minimum wage has bumped up. It kind of fluctuates a little bit up and down, but it's steady trend line up and to the right. And what you'll see is you will see some dips in this. I'll have to put it on a graph, maybe shoot another video. But we get to 2020 and it's saying like, hey, here's where the median rents are for the United States with your $7.25 minimum wage. Well, here in Virginia, they passed into law that minimum wage will basically be $9.50 starting now, May 1st of 2021. And then it will increase basically year by year until, in the next, 5 years, it's going to be $15 an hour. And I want to say, well, what does that look like for rents in a market area? Can we get ahead of this curve and potentially buy into a market where rents are going to be increasing dramatically? And I think that if you take, all of this data, you do the median percentage over time, which basically throws out your highs, your lows, you end up with 69% is what the median household income from a minimum wage earner is paying in rents. So if you take that calculation and just extrapolate it out by the new minimum wages, here's what you're looking at least in the Virginia markets, of what potentially rents could be looking like in the near future as minimum wage increases. Now, we won't get into what this may cause, but just keep in mind, if you start seeing income go up significantly and cost of living going up on everything, landlords that are forced to rent their houses are probably going to charge more for their houses to rent. And so this is where things can go up, and ultimately you may end up with the government stepping in and trying to put in place some type of rent control. But we can see this is potentially a really good future if you are a landlord and you own rental property. This could be exciting times for cash flow and long-term investment future. Take care.